When a newborn cries out in the dark, they are sounding an alarm for a biological requirement that ranks right alongside oxygen. Modern parenting culture conditions us to measure entirely different things. We are handed apps filled with dials and charts to meticulously track ounces of milk consumed, hours slept, and diapers changed to ensure physical survival. Yet beneath all that tracking lies a quiet, constant anxiety. We stare at our babies and wonder if we are actually bonding with them, and if they can truly feel that they are loved. We often treat food and sleep as the absolute life or death necessities, while viewing emotional connection as an invisible, optional bonus. If the baby is fed and rested, we assume the critical work is done. Modern neuroscience indicates that emotional connection is a hard, physical requirement for human development. This is the concept of early relational health. It is the structural groundwork for the brain architecture that supports every future skill your child will learn. This diagram shows a newborn's brain at birth, operating entirely out of the lower brainstem, the reactive, downstairs brain running on raw survival instincts. When urgent needs go unmet, the body triggers a stress response, releasing cortisol directly into this highly vulnerable system. Responding to a cry provides the reassurance a baby needs to trust their environment. When a caregiver steps in to comfort the child, acting as a biological buffer, that physical contact shuts down the cortisol flood and turns off the stress response. Soothing a baby actively protects the brain's delicate architecture from toxic stress, clearing the site so the logical, upstairs brain can safely begin construction. Researchers at Harvard University identified the specific mechanism that builds this architecture. They call it serve and return. Use a biological feedback loop that wires new neural pathways through everyday interactions. Step 1 is noticing the serve. A baby initiates through a babble, a pointed finger, or a sudden cry. That is the serve. Step 2 is returning the serve. When an adult responds with eye contact, words, or touch, it completes the neural circuit. Step 3 is naming it. Labeling what a child sees or feels reinforces that connection, wiring language centers directly to emotional experiences. Step 4 requires restraint. Take turns and wait. Pausing after you return a serve gives the infant's brain the necessary processing time to formulate their own response. Finally, step 5 is practicing endings and beginnings. Recognizing when a baby looks away and is done playing helps them learn to manage transitions and regulate their own attention. These thousands of back and forth micro-interactions form the structural mortar for the brain's future capacity for logic, problem-solving, and empathy. Our culture often pushes the expectation of an instant, magical bond the moment a child is born. But the biological reality is that attachment is built gradually, cumulatively, through these daily moments of response. This relational engine must function properly for other milestones to occur. Reaching out, crawling, and walking all depend on a secure emotional baseline. A foundation of emotional security shuts down the brain's anxiety centers. This frees up the infant's bandwidth, giving them the courage to turn their attention outward and explore the physical world. This illustration captures what developmental experts refer to as the attachment anchor. Parents do not need to be perfect to create this. They simply need to be consistently present, establishing these glowing threads of trust. Returning your baby's serve in these ordinary moments shapes the physical structure of their brain. It builds the neural framework they will rely on for the rest of their lives.